Good afternoon. I'm Ramiro Martins, and I'm a deep marketing teacher for more than 30 years. I am also the owner and the founder of a company called Algorythm. Algorythm is a company based in Portugal that works on predictive marketing. Our typical customers are middle-sized companies that cannot afford to have their own predictive marketing department, so they come to us to help them. Today I'm sharing stage with Federico Cartaran. He's from RiskApp. RiskApp is an Italian-based company that provides insurance business insights. Among his customers, he's got the leader of Italian market in insurance, the World Bank, and also is conducting now 5 proof of concepts on worldwide. Let me tell why we are on stage together today. Imagine that a commercial line insurance company wants to penetrate the middle-sized market. They will soon find that risk assessment will be too costly and take too long to conduct. And this is obviously a problem because it cannot accommodate on premiums the cost of such an operation. That was exactly the problem that SafeMode is a risk assessment company in Portugal that works primarily to Fidelidade. Fidelidade is the leader in Portugal on insurance. And that was exactly the problem SafeMode was facing. They had 45 engineers that conducted risk assessment, but their capacity was limited to 600 assessments per year. So that's when SafeMode came to us and asked us to help them solve the problem, how they could increase the number of risk assessments and controlling the costs simultaneously. After some reflection, we came out with a solution that was something like this. Why not capitalize on the know-how that was into the brains of the risk experts and design a set of 400 questions that could suit all the issues a risk management should conduct? And why not delegate on agents the task of assessing the risk? The idea behind this was just look at each industry and just look at the size of the company and select among the 400 questions which one were the right questions to ask to that specific customer. We knew that under this solution, we also had to engage the agent. Obviously, the agent wouldn't like to spend his time assessing the risk of the customer. So the idea was, why not give him also a list of the policies that would suit best his customer? That was very, very good for him. On the other hand, we understood as well that we would need to engage the customer. Then we came out with another solution that was, why not give for free for a customer a list of the mitigation procedures he could conduct to diminish his risk. And finally, obviously, the idea was to have the risk assessment made by the agent and deliver it to the underwriter under a controlled cost. And that's exactly what we did. Along with SafeMode, Algorithm and SafeMode working together, we conducted this proof of concept that proved to be very successful. We succeeded to increase our figures of risk assessments for the initial 600 to 2,400 per year. That means that it boosted by 400% the capacity of risk assessment. And on the other hand, something that was a little bit unexpected, agents were able to increase their own sales by 25%. And that was very good for both of SafeMode and also for the insurance company. With the success of this proof of concept, we knew that we had to upscale and upgrade the experience from the proof of concept to a complete solution. And that's when RiskApp got into the project, because they have a platform that collects external data, and we wanted to add external data to our risk assessments. And on the other hand, it's got a market-proofed platform that I'm pleased to ask Federico to show you how it works.
Great. Thank you, Ramiro, for the word. Yeah, exactly. As he said, we have developed a platform. So we deliver a set of tools, either via APIs, and we have created our own front end. So you guys can integrate either with the legacy system or core systems. So what we basically do is we plug our solution into the commercial process, and then we start getting data for about SMEs risks. And another feature that we have is that we take away pain from the customer because we have created a way to share the questionnaire. So we help also the intermediary to in his relationship with the business. I'll show you with the demo how the system works in practice. So we can switch to the demo. OK, beautiful. So this is the platform. The agent can simply add a new company by typing the name. Like in this case, the system will start pulling data from publicly available sources. Then he will create a customer profile. Like here, we have many information, such as the ISIC code, the yearly revenues, the location. We have the number of employees. Then we have the past 10 years of financial information, like in this case. So we create a graph, and then we also project those financial information to the next 3 years. Here, we have a solution that will help the intermediary to configure the policy. So we know which are the policies already in place, with type of coverage, amount insured, etc. Then we created an editor that I will show you. So with this editor, the intermediary can easily add information about the company. Like in this case, we have a supply chain. So it's a gold manufacturing company. So they source their gold from South Africa. Then they have a process in place. They can connect this process with other entities. So if they have different buildings, like this case, or they have a company like here in South Africa, we can get information. We can also extract information regarding the buildings using this picking functionality. So the intermediary will have in real time an information regarding which is the size, the extent of a building. And he can use those information to compute the policy. OK, when I go here, I'll show you. We have also a set of scenarios that we can design and we can create on top of the company. Like in this case, I'm showing an earthquake scenario, a fire scenario, like this case. So we can create scenarios that are hitting our company. Either we can do fire scenarios or natural catastrophe scenarios as well. So after this, we have all the results are collected into a dashboard. So the intermediary can show information regarding the cumulative EBITDA, for example, of the company. He can show the heat map, highlighting which are the major exposure on the supply chain. And we also create some damage balance sheets that can simulate which will be the impact in terms of lost revenues, lost margins, etc. And we compute also the downtime caused by those type of events. Another support that we give to our intermediary is a representation of all the risks that are hitting a company, that might hit a company. And we also present a benchmark on how the other competitors are adapting, are using their budgets. Here, we create a simulation of the different type of events, so we can see how they will impact on a gross profit in this case. So the company supposedly will make almost 39 million in terms of gross profit, but due to an earthquake or to a fire, they can drop like to 30 million, 29 million. Then we also created a widget that will help the intermediary to show the value of an insurance coverage, in this case for business interruption. So he can show which will be the gross profit in the case of an event. In this case, we have picked the earthquake. We can pick any of the scenarios. And then he can also configure the deductible. So he can show to his customer which will be the risk that he is transferring. In this case, 9.7 million is the scenario risk. So he's transferring 9.46 and retaining 260. Then the intermediary can create also a report, and he can show fire MFL, let's say flash flood or tornado. And then on top of this, he can also pick some scenarios and create a representation of which will be the impact on his company. And he clicks generate. Then the system goes to the reports, like here. And the report of the company actually represents the public information that we have collected. the main assets, the financial projection, the business process, the benchmark and then coverages, then the screening of natural hazards on the supply chain, gross profit, and then we leave with the contact of our agent. So we're RiskApp. We do risk assessment for commercial line insurance. We help commercial line insurance that wants to get to the middle market to get an easy access and a more cost-effective access to risk assessment, so they can open a market that in Europe is worth 230 billion only. So if you guys like what you've seen, please join us at the booth right on the left of this hall. Thank you.
Yeah.